doing my babies dirty like that. But that's just another reason for me to totally deny the official ending and write a much better one into my shifting scripts. Hi guys, it's me, the Hermit. If you're new to my channel, my name is Alena, and today's video was created in the honor of one of the greatest shows to ever end, ending in the most horrible way. I'm not just about to complain, but there's some real serious issues that I have with the ending of Supernatural. As you may have noticed, I've been fairly inactive over the last couple of months. I talked about the reasons in my last video, which I'm gonna link somewhere up here for you guys in case you want to watch it. So during this off time I had lots of opportunities to binge watch Supernatural, and though watching season 15 took me the absolute longest to watch, I actually finished it, finally. I knew how it was gonna end because I'm on the internet a lot, and when I get into a fandom I don't stop until I know all of the memes. But I actually did see some footage of the last episode because of this guy. Dylan is a YouTuber whose content I really enjoy, mostly because he has such a messed up sense of humor, just like me, and he does this thing sometimes where he talks he takes very long TV shows and only watches 2 episodes of it, like the pilot and the finale. And he did that with Supernatural some time ago, at a time where I wasn't even into it yet, so I watched his video on Supernatural before I watched the actual show. And after finishing Supernatural, I went back to Dylan's video just to relive his reactions as someone who doesn't know shit about anything. And even he got mad at the ending. Well, I did too. Let me tell you why. But before that, it should be obvious, but there will be heavy spoilers ahead. First, let's talk about the obvious struggle, Dean's death. Well, I totally agree with the idea of if one of the Winchesters dies, then I would be on a hunt because that's the only thing that I do. But please, give me a break. You're telling me that this stupid Niall and this stupid Bond is gonna take a hunter like Dean out? They both survived so much worse than that. It's ridiculous to me, and it feels like poor writing. Like they would rush wrapping up Dean's character arc after he and Sam saved the world. Again, I think if one of the main characters would have had to die, one of the brothers, it would make sense for it to be Dean, because Sam is the one brother who would actually be able to move on from that. Dean would not be that. The show wouldn't have ended at this point if Sam would have died. Like, Dean wouldn't have let it. We all know that. But I just think Dean deserves so much better. It would be a way more powerful message, I think, if Dean was able to get out of the hunter's life in the end and live normally and happily. As so many people relate to this character because of his childhood wounds and his trauma. So him getting a happy ending would have sent out a much more positive message to most of us. Not to say that Sam doesn't deserve that, they both do. And if the writers wanted to kill off 2 of the 3 main characters, they would have had so much time to do it. But doing it in the very end is just unnecessarily dramatic, in my opinion. Getting to that, Cas's death is absolutely unacceptable to me. I mean, what am I supposed to take out of that? That once I'm truly happy and finally embraced my authentic self, I get sent to basically super hell? What was that about? 12 seasons of queerbaiting, and then we get this. Cas got one of the best character developments of the show, and to see it end like that is so disappointing. And in the end, when Dean is in heaven, we learn that Cas is not in the empty anymore, I guess. They never clarified that. He wasn't there when Dean arrived. He wasn't there when Dean died. Where was he? And when heaven and the empty had been revolutionized since Jack took over after Chuck's death, where has he been all the time before Dean died? Is it just me, or doesn't that make any sense at all? Also, watching Dylan's video, I realized that he never got to know Cas as a character at all, because he's neither in the pilot nor in the finale, and that is just wrong. It feels wrong. Castiel is the main character, and I think he should have shown up in some way in the last episode. They really did him dirty.
How dare you? How dare you, Supernatural?
Talking about heaven, what even is this? We learned that John and Mary are living together again.
And your mom and dad, they got a place over yonder.
How does that work? Explain. As I see it, the relationship was doomed from the start. They hated each other, or at least they couldn't really like each other, and then they were practically made a couple by the force of heaven, and we know for a fact that John was an absent husband and an abusive father, maybe even an abusive husband. Are we just supposed to believe that after that little cozy family dinner episode with John and Mary, that everything is forgiven and John is totally capable of change as a person just like that? I have not encountered anyone who's seen the show and was okay with John's behavior. Why do we support that? Why? Why redeeming him? And why? Why making a sequel about John and Mary's relationship? I don't want that. I don't need it. Who thought that was a good idea? There's 100 better story arcs he could have pursued. The Wayward Sisters, Sam's son maybe getting his own counter story, Crowley's past. Like, why didn't we talk about Crowley? Why didn't he come back in the last season? I was just waiting for him to show up and he just didn't. And lastly, I wanted to talk about Sam and the other characters who weren't shown in the finale. What's with Eileen, for example? Where is she? Is she the faceless woman in Sam's life? Is she alive at all? Why is Sam's kid kinda ugly? And why does he have to wear this wig in the very end? Like, I was bawling my eyes out in the finale the whole time until the very moment Sam came in with this and I literally stopped. I was so mad at this point. I don't even know why. Everything about the last 20 minutes felt off. Everything. Even the very end when they zoomed out and then someone said, cut. Hated it. It was like, here you have your end. It's not perfect, but neither are we. Just focus on the good thing. We're all here to thank you. The fans. Save that for the specials, the interviews, the behind the scenes, the extended edition. I don't care. I don't need to cringe over the crew after having my heart broken by you bastards. I don't mean you, by the way, I mean the writers, you know that, right? I honestly think an open ending would have worked better. They should have stopped at the scene where Sam leaves the bunker and turns off the lights. Like, it's the end. Leave it. Leave the rest open for imagination. What's wrong with that? I have the theory that they maybe wanted to include Eileen as Sam's wife in the finale, but you know, watching through some comments and interviews by R.I.P and Robert Singer, I found out that the original plan for the finale was to include all of the important characters of the show in the heaven scene. Like, the idea was to assemble them all in a version of Ellen's Roadhouse in heaven, and for Dean and Sam to show up there, and everyone would welcome them and everyone would hug them and tears would have been shed, and we never got to see that because of COVID. I mean, it's fair, the show was incredibly popular and maybe it wasn't possible to delay the finale any longer, but for that scene to happen, I think most of us would have been happy to wait until it was actually safe for the whole cast to participate in the finale. Am I right? Why wouldn't you wait in order to be able to film a last episode that actually does the show justice instead of doing it the way they did it? It was not a good ending, in my opinion. And though I acknowledge that everyone has a very individual connection with the show, it has completely different opinions about the ending as well. I just wanted to state my opinion and open up a debate about the points that I made. Feel free to argue those in the comment section, because I'm very curious about what you have to say to it. Do you feel the same way, or do you think the show ended on an acceptable note? Let me know. Well, that's it for me. I've complained enough, I guess, but I'm still mad.
How dare you, Supernatural?
Doing my baby's dirty like that. But that's just another reason for me to totally deny the official ending and write a much better one into my shifting scripts. So if you're interested in my shifting content or in the other things that I'm doing on my channel, like astrology and tarot and manifestation, then check it out and leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on anything. And for now, I wish you a wonderful day or night, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.